Life is unpredictable. Sometimes we plan everything perfectly, work hard, and give our best, but things don't go as expected. We fail, and when we fail, we often feel like it's the end of the road. We question ourselves, our abilities, and our dreams. But what if I told you that failure is not a sign of weakness? What if I told you that failure is not the end, but actually the beginning of something greater? The truth is, failure is life's greatest teacher. It is the foundation upon which success is built. Today, I want to talk about something that we all experience but rarely embrace: the power of failure. My topic is, failure is not the end, it's a lesson. There comes a moment in everyone's life when everything seems to fall apart. The dreams we once nurtured, the ambitions we chased so passionately suddenly seem distant, almost impossible. It is in these moments that we face the harshest reality of life: failure. But let me tell you, failure is not the end. It is, in fact, the greatest teacher life can offer. It is a lesson wrapped in disguise, waiting for you to unwrap it, understand it, and grow from it. Many people fear failure as if it defines them, but the truth is, failure refines you. It is not a stamp that marks your destiny. It is a stepping stone towards greatness. The problem is not that we fail. The problem is that we allow failure to break us instead of making us. Every successful person in history has faced setbacks, rejections, and defeats, but they chose to rise despite them. The only difference between those who succeed and those who give up is the ability to see failure as a lesson rather than a loss. Think about a child who is learning to walk. He stumbles, falls, gets hurt, but does he stop trying? No, he gets up, sometimes with teary eyes, sometimes with frustration, but he keeps trying until one day he takes his first confident step. That's life. We fall, we fail, but if we keep going, one day we will stand tall. The problem is that as we grow older, we lose that persistence. We let fear and doubt hold us back. We start believing that failure is proof of our inability, rather than a sign that we are trying. When we fail, we have two choices. We can sit in a corner, cry over it, and let it define us, or we can rise, wipe our tears, and take another step forward with more wisdom, more strength, and more courage than before. Failure does not mean you are weak. It means you are strong enough to try, and that is what truly matters. People will always have opinions. They will always have something to say, but at the end of the day, your journey is yours. The only voice that should truly matter is the one inside you, the voice that tells you to keep going. I have seen people break down after failure, completely shattered, as if their entire existence depended on one success. But life is bigger than one defeat. It is bigger than one lost opportunity. Sometimes, the door we desperately wanted to open remains shut because life has a better door waiting for us. We are so busy crying over what we lost that we fail to see what is ahead. Failure is not a dead end. It is a redirection, a sign that maybe there is something better for you, something greater, something that will make you truly happy. Do not let failure define you. Let it build you. Let it be the fire that fuels your journey. People will judge you. They will doubt you, and they will even laugh at you. But remember, they are only spectators. You are the one in the arena. You are the one fighting. And as long as you keep fighting, you are not a failure, you are a warrior. Keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Because failure is never the end. It is always, always a new beginning. Learning is the most powerful tool a person can have, yet many people overlook its true potential. When failure strikes, most people focus on their loss rather than the lesson it carries. They dwell on disappointment, regret, and self-doubt, forgetting that every mistake has something to teach. But the ones who succeed are those who take a step back, reflect on what went wrong, and use that knowledge to come back stronger. Every failure holds a message, and only those who are willing to listen can truly grow. History is full of examples of people who failed but chose to learn instead of giving up. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he finally invented the light bulb, but he didn't see those failures as wasted effort. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is the mindset that separates the great from the ordinary. Instead of seeing failure as an end, he saw it as a necessary process of learning. Every setback taught him something new, and each lesson brought him closer to success. But learning from failure isn't always easy. It requires humility, self-awarenesses, and the courage to accept that we are not perfect. Many people refuse to acknowledge their mistakes, blaming circumstances, luck, or even other people. But real growth only happens when we take responsibility for our failures. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" we should be asking, "What can I learn from this?" That simple shift in perspective changes everything. It turns failure from an obstacle into an opportunity, from a setback into a stepping stone. Some of the most successful people in the world credit their failures for their success. Oprah Winfrey was once told she wasn't fit for television. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before he returned and made Apple what it is today. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global sensation. What do all these people have in common? They didn't just experience failure, they learned from it. They used their failures to improve, to grow, and to come back even stronger. The truth is, failure doesn't destroy people. Refusing to learn from failure does. Every mistake carries a lesson, but only if we are willing to see it. It teaches resilience, patience, and perseverance. It forces us to reevaluate our approach, to sharpen our skills, and to push ourselves beyond our limits. Instead of fearing failure, we should welcome it as an opportunity to learn, because the person who learns from failure today will be the one who succeeds tomorrow. Growth is not something that happens overnight. It is a process, a journey that requires patience, persistence, and action. Many people experience failure, learn from it, and understand what went wrong, but they never take the next step, they never act. Knowing what to do is not enough. True progress comes when we apply those lessons and move forward with determination. Growth is the result of action, and action requires courage. When people fail, they often hesitate to try again. They are afraid of getting hurt, afraid of making another mistake, afraid of facing rejection once more. But real growth happens when we push past that fear. The most successful individuals in the world did not wait for the perfect moment or for all their doubts to disappear. They took risks. They stood up after each fall, dusted themselves off, and tried again. Because the truth is, there is no perfect moment. If we keep waiting, life will pass us by, and we will be left wondering what could have been. Taking action doesn't mean that failure will never happen again. In fact, growth is a cycle of constant trial and error. You fail, you learn, you grow, and then you repeat the process. But each time you become wiser, stronger, and more capable than before. The greatest mistake is not failing. It is giving up after failing once. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who never stop trying. They understand that growth comes from continuous effort, even when the results are not immediate. Imagine a seed planted in the soil. It does not become a tree in a day. It takes time. It needs sunlight, water, and care. It grows slowly, pushing through the dirt, breaking out of its shell, facing storms and harsh winds. But it keeps growing, little by little, until one day it stands tall and strong. That is how human growth works too. We go through struggles, we face challenges, but if we keep taking steps forward, no matter how small, we eventually reach heights we never imagined. Every failure, every setback, and every challenge is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. But growth will only happen if you take action. So, don't be afraid to try again. Don't be afraid to start over. Every time you stand up after falling, you are proving to yourself and the world that you are stronger than your failures. And that is what truly matters. Growth is not about never falling, it is about always rising.